Good evening. From me, the minion, the penguin, toothless. I'm in good company. Now, I apologise. Didn't even realise yesterday went by and there was no bedtime story. So I'm going to do bedtime story tonight to finish Miss Seethe's detention rampage. And then tomorrow, I'm going to have two sections. So, do you remember that Miss Seethe was just giving out detentions to the headmistress? Terrible. Silence had descended over the classroom. All eyes turned to the deputy head, who was standing at the door wrestling with the thought. After a few moments, she spoke. Miss Seethe, announced Miss Seethe. Yes, Miss Seethe, replied Miss Seethe. I hereby give you a detention. Me? Yes, you. But I'm the deputy head of this school. You can't give me a detention. Oh, yes, I can, for I am the deputy head of this school. Now, get in there. Shoo! 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 With that, Miss Seethe held up her stick and prodded and poked herself into the classroom. Now, there was even less room in there than there was before, and people started to grumble. Ouch! Ooh! Ah! Ouch! Can't you wait until the next train? Stop picking my nose. I'm terribly sorry. I thought it was mine. Miss Seethe closed the classroom door behind her. Stum! Right now, everyone. Settle down, she called out. You try to settle down in here, called back Miss Stint. There are 30 bottoms for every chair. Some of these bottoms are too large for just the one. Everyone's laughing. Right, announced Seethe, determined to gain control of the classroom. She clambered up Miss Stint as if the elderly headmistress were a ladder. Would you mind awfully removing your foot from my head? Asked the headmistress. Holding on to her stick tightly, Miss Seethe then crowd-surfed. Not the best method of travel, even at a rock concert. Her way over the top of everyone's heads. I am setting us all lines, she announced as the wave of hands passed her around the room like a beach ball. I must not complain about being given a detention, or I will be given another detention. No one could write a thing. There wasn't room to move your elbow. We can't. It's impossible. Are you bananas? Undeterred, Miss Seethe crowd-surfed her way over to the cabinet in the corner to fetch some paper. She stood on top of it and addressed the entire school. I want you all, us all, to write out 1,000,000 times, she barked. I am not doing it, Seethe replied to herself. 1,000,000,000 then, she snapped back, rotating her walking stick over her head. I said no. 1,000,000,000,000. No. 1,000,000,000. Never. 1,000,000,000,000. No, no, no. As she argued with herself, her walking stick revolved, faster and faster and faster, going whoop, 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 until Seethe was now spinning her stick above her head at such a speed that she actually took off like a helicopter. Her feet left the cabinet and she sent herself crashing through the roof of her classroom. Smash! The teacher hurtled through the sky. Everyone looked up through the Seethe-sized hole in the ceiling to see her whizzing through the clouds, still rotating her stick above her head. Detention! Bellowed Miss Seethe at a pigeon that flew past her. Squawk! Her voice echoed across the sky until it was heard no more. Well, that feels better, sighed Miss Epoch. Oh, yes, murmured everyone else in agreement. Now let's party, announced Miss Stint. Yay! Cried the entire school. They all tumbled out of the classroom and followed the headmistress down the corridor, back into the hall where all the yummy cakes and jellies and pies were still waiting for them. Hooray! Miss Stint was the last to leave the party, way past midnight. The events of the day had perked her up no end. There was karaoke and she treated the school to a performance of her favourite hip-hop tracks. MC Stint on the mic, rile high, let me hear you say, way-oh! They all went, way-oh! As for Miss Seethe, no one knew where she landed, if indeed she ever did. So if you find an angry old lady lying in a ditch, waggling a walking stick above her head and barking, "Detention!" at you, approach with extreme caution. Whatever you do, don't stick a stamp on Miss Seethe's forehead and post her to Rile High. They do not want their deputy head back. Ever. Dun, dun, dun. So she disappeared. She flew out the sky. So tomorrow I'm going to read 2 different sections of Miss Palaver's theatrical tricks. There you go. Miss Palaver. She is Lady Ostentatious's school for posh girls, and she teaches drama. So tomorrow we'll find out about that. So I hope you have a good evening. I hope that you've all returned to homeschooling quite well, quite happily, and just getting on with your work. And I will see you tomorrow.